This episode of Real Captain Anarchy Presents has been brought to you by Ziggurat.com.
Captain Marcus McCunwell and crew, ignorant privateers of the Royal Crown, also known on the high seas as Captain Anarchy. You and your crew stand accused of treason on the high seas against the American colonies. How do you plead for you and your crew, sir? Guilty as charged!
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of LA's infamous Captain Anarchy's Hollywood Memoirs.
Oh yeah!
And without any further ado, here is the Captain. I am the one and only real Captain Anarchy. Make no mistake and accept no posers or imitators. I am a second-generation Southern California OG punk rocker. A legitimate, real punk rocker. I was the first human being to ever use the alias Captain Anarchy.
Really?
And I did so long before the comic strip or the poser-ass Quincy punk so-called punk band Antiflag ever wrote their bunk-ass song.
Really?
Which has nothing to do with me or ever could, because unlike them, I am a real punk rocker, or infinitely longer than the tons of poser kids on Facebook, MySpace, or the internet abroad. That have consequently ripped off the name for themselves after hearing that sorry-ass band and their fake so-called punk song.
Is it possible you are correct?
I was the first human being to ever use the name Captain Anarchy, which was given to me by some of the original members of the LA punk rock gang called The Lads, or LA Death Squad, back in 1981, when I first used to hang out with them at the original Okie Dogs punk rock hangout on Santa Monica Boulevard, and whom gave me that nickname because at that time I was a young singer in a socio-political punk band, and I dressed like a punk rock version of Zorro as part of my statement. And no, I am not in the gang. But I am, however, a friend and associate of some of the members, just as my friends and I hung out with and were friends and associates of several other LA punk gangs at the time, such as FFF, or Fight for Freedom, HRP, or Hollywood Rap Patrol, the Suicidal Tendencies Psychos, and the Neighborhood Watch Homies, and occasionally with a few members of the Dog Patch Winos and the Firm as well, to name just the main players.
Take him out!
And it's a bummer that those days are kind of a beer-goggled blur, and hence I have lost touch with many of them, and frankly don't even remember some of the people I knew back then. But anyway, I'm just talking here about various people and groups that I knew or hung out with when I was growing up.
Nobody draws until this hits the ground.
So, no, I ain't from anywhere. I just know a lot of different people, but I was never actually in any particular punk gang. So if you ever meet me, don't be asking me where I'm from, because the only place I'm from is the kingdom of heaven under the command of God. And yeah, my friends and I sometimes caught a lot of flack from some of the heads on all fronts because we lived in between the territories and floated in between them. But we also had a lot of friends on all sides, and we still do. So don't fuck around, fool.
Draw.
But at any rate, back in 1981, I also began singing and writing songs and lyrics, and I still do, under the alias Captain Anarchy, for the notorious old school spray paint heroes of punk rock band from the West Side that's called HP, formerly known at the time as Hated Principles, that has played support slots over the years for major national touring punk rock headliners like Bad Religion.
No way! It's Spider-Man to control. The minds right all the same. The come through is a score.
Social Distortion.
I'm your warning leather jacket.
The Circle Jerks.
Get around and destroy!
Dr. No.
Planet has the power to help me do this.
The Mentors. Aggression. And far too many more to list here.
Shut up and get to the point.
And has also released several EPs and a full-length LP over the last few decades. And most recently released a 5-song EP co-produced by legendary drummer and producer Derek O'Brien of Social Distortion and Adolescence.
Nigga, please.
So hence I now literally own the name, as I have been using the name in conjunction with my old school punk band HP since we first originally formed back in 1981. And I am also now currently using it in my new medieval, pirate, and highwayman themed neoclassical and gothic dark fantasy metal band called Devil's Alley as well. And in the past, I've also used it in my former junkie rock and punk and roll band that was called The Hate Junkies 2. And that is not to mention that I also wrote live show reviews under the same pseudonym as a senior staff writer for LA's legendary Rock City News for over a decade, from the 1990s into the 2000s, in my column that was entitled LA's Underground, featuring Captain Anarchy. And I also used it as the alias for my character, complete with a coinciding anti-hero themed costume, as part of my public access cable video show that was also entitled LA's Underground, featuring Captain Anarchy.
And how much Dr. Roxo get for this slop?
Which aired for over 4 years all throughout LA County. Both of which I created myself to help promote my various bands at the time, along with other like-minded bands based locally and abroad. And additionally, I have since used it as my pseudonym as well in my most recent live show review column entitled The Infamous Captain Anarchy's Hollywood Memoirs, which I currently write as a senior staff writer for in LA's notorious Lost Anarchy magazine as well. So in other words, I have clearly used the name Captain Anarchy for several decades for business purposes, thus further legitimizing my claim to the name.
Whatever.
And for those of you who may think that I am not punk rock because I utilize the legal system to protect myself, to you I say, why wouldn't I? I mean, the name is clearly mine, and my work under the name is clearly mine too. And as an anarchist, I will use any and all means at my disposal to protect that. Even if that means using the system to my advantage to do so. Period. And besides, I could care less if people in general think I fit their description of what punk rock is anyways, because punk is only a word, and what punk is really all about is being yourself and doing things your own way, living your life on your own terms and being a nonconformist, which is exactly how I live my life. For I am the ultimate decadent anarchist.
Attention! I need beer up here! Now!
I have virtually attained being as free as one can be and still subsist in the fascist facade we call society.
What are you, a nut? I'm a vegetarian!
And though I am a vegetarian and I enjoy the wilderness, I have too much fun exploiting and being entertained by our said society to become a fucking tree-hugging, granola-eating, crunchy-ass, Grizzly Adams style, Henry David Thoreau type hippie. For I am known as being a fashionably late man of leisure. I'm wild and free. I live the random rock star life of excess to the fullest. Fuck like a beast and party like Spicoli.
But you know, just like I told the guy on ABC, danger is my business.
Or like it's 1999. Whenever I damn well please.
Shit, what the hell you doing? I'm banging that girl.
Oh. I only obey rules when they suit my need or fancy. I have no routine and no one tells me what to do. I do exactly what I want to do.
What the fuck is this?
And I wear the different types of clothes and sport the various images of various genres that I want when I want. And that, in part, is what qualifies me as a legitimate anarchist punk rocker. And if I want to rock and roll all night and party every day, then that's exactly what I do. And the entire operation is bankrolled by each and every one of you, the general public, and my adoring fans, whose loyal support keeps me rolling in the dough to finance it all.
What the fuck are you talking about?
All of you support me in more ways than you will ever be able to imagine. For the facets of society are the cards up my sleeve. So every time you clock in and collect, spend money, pay your societal dues, buy my merch, listen to my music, or promote me in some other way, then you contribute to my delinquent lifestyle. And I love you for it. And I look forward to flipping thee back some bounty, or kicking ye down some wares, upon wakey bakey at thy pad someday too. Albeit, probably after having polished off thy supply from the night before. And as I clear out your fridge, toast the phone, freeze the computer, blow up the head, and smoke up the joint. Thank you very much. But anyway, back to my case at point. In these regards, I am hence formally and politely asking that any individuals attempting to use my name please cease and desist. I know that those using it are and were probably largely not aware of my claim to the name when they first began doing so. So by no means am I attempting to single them out here. But many that have done so and have since been enlightened to the fact of my claim upon the name have nonetheless complied by ceasing their use of it.
Whatever.
If not for legal reasons, then no doubt because they probably did not want to look like posers by using an OG punk's name from an established LA punk band that has been around and been releasing records worldwide for over 3 decades, and hence has a clear claim upon it. But for those of you that still want to hold out by continuing to use my name, especially after viewing and hearing this, then all I can say is that if you want to continue doing so, then you and all of those around you will now know that you are clearly a poser.
What the fuck?
Using a real, established OG punk's name. And you should also start preparing yourself for the legal ramifications that will follow as well. Not to mention that I still have a few friends that are probably not the type that you want to meet either, Holmes.
Shit, man. I'm a natural born killer.
So I would greatly appreciate your full cooperation. This is the one and only Real Captain Anarchy signing off. Thank you. Thank you.
This is Hollywood.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe or I will scratch your eyeballs out.
Don't fuck up, this is Hollywood. Oh, Hollywood. This is Hollywood. Hollywood.
This episode has been brought to you by Zigarette.com. There's nothing fake about it. We're the source for electronic cigarettes. Welcome to the 21st century. Quit smoking and start vaping. No tar, no secondhand smoke, no pollution, no offensive odors. Smoke without the guilt. We carry everything from egos to traditional electric cigarettes and a full line of accessories. So please come on down to Zigarette.com. All of our flavors are produced right here in the United States, and we can even say our flavors are kosher. So for the best flavors, the best vaping experience that you can get, go to Zigarette.com. And remember, all the flavor you will get vaping on your cigarette at Zigarette.com. That's Zigarette.com.